Hello everyone, hope you all are doing good. My name is MD Waliullah, student 8241159698. I am here to present our topic, why do debits and credits have to be equal. This is the part of our presentation of the course Financial and Managerial Account. This presentation is honorably submitted to our dearest faculty, Mohammad Shahidullah Shakor sir, lecturer, Department of CSE, Daffodil International University. So, here is my slide, meaning of debit and credits. Well, let's understand what is debit and credit. Well, the debit and credit is actually two parts of a single coin. Debit and credit are basically two sides of an accounting entry. Debit is recorded on the left side, credit is recorded on the right side. Every business transaction affects at least two accounts. It's not only in the accounting principles or in accounting transactions, it's also happens in our daily life. Here the basic accounting equation, I can say the mother equation of accounting is assets is equal to liabilities plus owner's equity. Every transaction changes one or more parts of this equation. Well, if we think about a practical example, remember about I have 1000 taka in my hand for my business. I can say that it's my asset, but there are two possible ways. The one is I invested 1000 totally by myself, or I invested 5000 from my side, and 5000 I borrowed from my friend. So here 5000 is my liabilities and the other 5000 is the owner's security, that is mine. But together or in total I have 1000 taka in my hand, that is my asset. So this is the basic principle of accounting. Debit and credits helps keep the equation balanced, while there is one major principle or one main thing is that the debit must have to be equal with the credit. So it means if I put debit anything in my slide or in my notes, then the credit will have the same amount. This is why both sides must have to be equal. Remember, if I go to a shop and buy something with 50 taka, so I can say that 50 taka I have taken from my account and 50 taka I have deposited or given to the owner. I will not give more or less, and the business owner or the shopkeeper will not take less or more from me. So this is the basic principles of accounting. That was all from my side. I am handing over my presentation to my next teammate, Janatun Hajri. Thank you for your brilliant patience.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Jannatuna Harjoy. My ID is 2411532. Now I will explain what equal means in accounting. In accounting, equal means the total debit amount must be equal to the total credit amount. It does not mean that every individual account has the same balance. For example, if we debit taka 5000, we must also credit taka 5000. So, equal debit and credit means the complete transaction in balance. Next slide. Now I am talking about the double entry accounting. Double entry bookkeeping is a system used by business to record financial transaction. In this system, every transaction is recorded in at least two accounts. One account receives a debit and another account receives a credit. For example, when a business buys something with cash, one account is debited and another account is credited. This system helps keeps the account balance and reduce mistake in financial record. Thank you. This is my side. Now my next teammate Nusrat Jahan will continue.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Nusrat Jahan, ID 241153224. Now I am going to explain an example of buying equipment and how debit and credit works in this transaction. Suppose a company purchases equipment for taka 10,000 in cash. When the company buy the equipment becomes an asset of the company. Since the equipment increase according to the debit and credit rules, we debit the equipment account by 10,000. At the same time, the company pays taka 10,000 in cash, so the amount of cash decreases. When an asset decreases, we credit the cash amount by account taka 10,000. So in this transaction, the equipment account receive a debit of taka 10,000 while the cash account receive a credit of taka 10,000. Therefore, the total debit is 10,000 taka and the total credit also taka 10,000. This example shows an important principle of accounting. Every transaction affects at least two accounts and the total debit must always be equal to the total credit. Next slide please. Next slide, why balance is important. The accounting system is based on the principle that total debit and total credit should always be equal. First, maintaining balance helps us keep our financial records accurate. If the debit and credit sides are properly recorded, we can have more confidence in our accounting information. Second, it makes it easier to find accounting errors. If there is a difference between debit and credit, it gives us an indication that something may have been recorded incorrectly. Third, balance helps us maintain the accounting equation. The accounting equation is asset equal liabilities plus equity. Finally, balance and accurate record provide reliable information for preparing important financial statements such as the income statement and balance sheet. So maintaining balance is very important for proper financial management and decision making. Now my next teammate Esposho presenting to the next slide.
Thank you, Nusrat Jahan Brishti. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Myself Nashidi Naurin Sporsho, ID 241152266. Today I will briefly talk about what happens when debit and credit are not equal and the golden rules of debit and credit. A trial balance is prepared to check what total debit and total credit are equal. If they are not equal, it usually means that there is an error such as an credit in treaty or missing debit. Accounts then check the records and correct the errors. Now coming the golden rules. Okay, so every transaction has two sides, debit and credit, and both must be equal. Generally, debit increase assets and expense, while credit increase liabilities and equity. When they decrease, the opposite entry is made. So the main idea is simple: debit must always equal credit. That's all from my side. Thank you for everyone for listening us. Thank you.